So our improv skills are about to really be put to the test here because we have Jenna Goldade and Amy Erlinson from Bull Skit Comedy here with us tonight. So first off, thank you both of you for coming and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for having us.
So before we do anything, before I even let Lund talk, apparently, we're going to do a warm-up game. Or you're going to lead us through a warm-up game because that's what you do in improv, right?
Yeah.
You warm up. We never, ever have warmed up for this podcast, so this will be a first. But if you want to lead us through a warm-up right away, and then we'll get to know you.
Sure. Yeah.
No
might
stranger
as well
danger
warm
here,
up. Yeah. And then we'll get to know each other deeply. Okay, great. So a game we can play is like a monologue, and we'll just go around the circle, the figurative circle that we're in. And we'll each just say one line of dialogue and we'll tell a story. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Makes sense? We'll just try it. You guys are in. So one day I was walking down the street and I saw this huge sign.
On this sign was the words, "Open for business, finally!"
And then I thought to myself, it's COVID. How could they be open for business?
And then I remembered I was drunk.
And end of story. No, I'm just kidding. No, keep going.
And even though it was 10:30 on a Tuesday morning,
I had told myself, you know what, today's the day. Even though I'm batshit drunk, I'm gonna get sober and also support small businesses.
So I went into this business, which was a nail salon, and asked for their finest pedicure.
And they said, pedicure? We only do manicures here, sir.
So I sat down for a manicure and they gave me a glass of champagne. And I was ecstatic.
I was so ecstatic because I said, fuck it. I'm having another drink. I'm not getting sober. I'm getting more drunk.
I just asked for the champagne to keep on flowing and flowing and flowing.
And then it kept flowing and flowing until I was watching Flo Rida on MTV.
And then my mom showed up and she said, Ted, not again. You do this every Tuesday. So I said,
don't worry, Mom, it's a manicure this time, not a pedicure.
And they said they were open for business, so here I am.
Also open for business.
The end. Yay! I totally swore. I don't think I'm allowed to swear. Am I?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woof.
We're rated R.
Woof.
Yeah. Cock, balls.
Oh,
Go ahead,
God.
yeah.
Are those swears?
Well, they're curse words. Really, right away that shows just the talent that improv takes. 'Cause I'm someone, I grew up doing drama, improv. It's like my favorite thing. And I froze because I expected Lund to say something like, I don't know. He said something normal and it threw me off. So that's
something normal?
Yeah. You don't normally do that.
thank you, man.
Yeah.
It's good support. I think like in improv, it is all about like, you don't have to be super funny and you don't have to be like super ingenious. You should be saying the next thing, whatever that next thing is. It shouldn't be like, and then aliens came down and burned my toes off and my brain got plummeted into the sky. Because then it's like, what the hell do I do?
Yeah.
Isn't like the number one rule of improv is like, don't say no or
Say yes.
Say yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you guys taught me that a few months ago. I heard it.
I'm
somewhere,
glad you
so.
retained that.
I've been telling you that since this podcast started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No blocking.
just takes other people to
Yeah.
also state it for it to be true. Yeah, it is one thing we teach, which is like say yes and support. But I think like improv's like evolved and there's like this new, I guess sometimes a new approach, which is like be curious about your partner and what they're going to say and what they're going to do. Because if we're curious, we always come at it from a place of positivity and not negativity, usually. That's kind of,
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's deep. That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah, sorry.
deep.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this was going to be so introspective. but-
ABCs of improv, always be curious.
Oh,
You
look
can
at
use
you.
that, yeah.
Oh, definitely. Tomorrow on our social media, ABC.
So let's go back to the beginning now. Just talk a bit about Bull Skit, the history of it. It's been around in Red Deer a long time. Obviously,
Yeah.
because of COVID, it's taken a big hit. Like
Yeah.
really pretty much the whole performing arts community has.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk about the beginning. You know, both of you have been a part of it for a long time and are really the two like pillars of it and why it's still standing today.
Oh, thanks.
Right?
I guess.
Very
Yeah.
shakily standing.
Yeah, very shakily. Yeah, well, there's been a lot of people that's like attributed to its success for sure. But we started, Amy and I started it back in 2008. Whoa. No, that's a lie.
No, that's right.
Is that right?
Yep.
Holy shit. Okay. Well, yeah. So 2008. And it was kind of just like I came to her after she got back from Italy and I was like, we should start a company. And then a month later, we're doing our first show, which was 3 hours long. And like the worst thing ever.
It had some gold in there, but it was.
Sounds familiar, right?
Yeah. It's like your first show is always super shaky. And then it was up from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we started off as a variety show. So we had a bunch of different people from the community. We had a dance troupe. We had comedians. We had
Films.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot jam packed into one night.
And then our improv and sketch, which we carried throughout most of Bull Skit's life too. So
yeah. So in our second year, we really figured out, the niche is people like comedy and people really want comedy. And we like doing it. So we shifted to just doing improv and sketch. We had stand up in there, but we quickly left that because it was hard to find stand up comedians. And we were like, we can't also do stand up. So we're like, we're just learning improv. We're just doing sketch. And then it kind of evolved from there.
yeah, and those two things were more familiar to us as artists and performers as well, with theater background and some improv training to start us off, versus stand-up is an entirely different beast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. It's scary.
Do you guys find your theater background really helps out, or do you have a lot of people coming to you with no drama background, no acting background whatsoever that just are intrigued and want to get involved in it?
I mean, that's definitely possible. For myself personally, I probably wouldn't have done it or been as successful if it wasn't for my theater background. I found that it's really helpful just in terms of acting, and we find with our performers, if they come to us as an actor, then we don't have to teach them the basics of stage etiquette, acting, direction, things like that. But I mean, all of that can be taught through improv, and there are certain things that need to be kind of undone when you're learning improv versus being an actor. So there are differences there, but for myself personally, I found it really valuable to be a performer first and then an improviser.
Yeah, and I was a really terrible performer. No, like I was always like a good writer and a good director. So that helped me like within the company. And I became a good actor because of improv and because of sketch, like because I was exercising that muscle every single month, which is nuts because we did a brand new show every single month for 12 years. 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Constantly. So, I mean, like, that's a feat in itself. And I think once we hit year 5, we started to get anyone and everyone just interested in improvising because it's this art form that I think can help you both, like, personally and professionally, but then also as a performer. So it just kind of depends on how you want to take it, and you can utilize it, like, across the board, which is really cool. And that has only come up because of like all the training we've done. Like I've been to Chicago and Seattle, and I've done stuff in Europe, and a lot of our performers have been to Chicago. And so all that training is like here and located here now. And we like to share that. And I think, yeah, if you're into it and just want to have a good time, like that's what we do on stage. We get to play pretend as adults. How sweet, right?
So I got a 2-part question for the people who maybe haven't heard of Bull Skit Comedy before. So, rewind, I guess, a year and a half or 2 years, where are you guys performing? And if somebody is wanting to get involved, how, and is there a fee? I know Ted called them players or performers.
Yeah, they learned something today.
Yeah.
A little more information on maybe how to get involved and where.
Yeah, so our home is at the Scott Block Theater, which is like downtown Red Deer. We've been there since the beginning. We used to play at the Matchbox for 1 whole year. It was so exciting. And then we moved quickly to the Scott Block, and it's been our home ever since. And so we're always there. We operate out of 2 spaces, our main theater, which is our big shows, and then our Centennial, which is like our smaller improv shows. And then if you're wanting to get involved, we have workshops actually trying to run right now. So please come take a workshop. We offer both sketch writing and improv. And then we're also looking at improv for professionals. So how you can take improv into your day-to-day life or in your podcast or wherever, right, guys?
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone can come take a workshop. You don't have to have previous experience. And then
Not at
we
all.
also have auditions for conservatory. The conservatory is like a way more intensive training than you would get in our workshops. And you would do 4 shows over the span of, I think it's 5 months, and then also like weekly training.
Mhm.
So if you want to like go like a die hard, you come do the conservatory with me and I train. I do that
Yeah.
program.
And you can find all that information online. So
Our website, which is bullskitcomedy.com.
you bet.
Oh, that's a smart thing to call your website.
Yeah, I know. I thought, I was like,
Makes
you
sense.
know, maybe we should call it .org and just make it really confusing.
One thing I get out of that actually is would be pretty cool for business and people who are involved with public speaking is you mentioned professional development. Like, you know, one area that people maybe don't think of being able to improve themselves through improv. I think that's a fantastic idea. And for people who haven't thought of that before and are looking for ideas as we hopefully come out of this pandemic sooner than later, I think that's great, PD. I know this podcast has helped me immensely with, you know, not so much my grammar, but being able to speak in front of a microphone. So
Immensely, though. That's pretty good.
That's a big word, actually. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's
proud.
Probably from his word a day calendar that he got for Christmas.
We're immensely proud of you.
And I immensely want you to join a class.
Well, and see, I think as a group we should, because just to add on to what Dustin says, you know, you might think you're only going to take an improv class or sketch writing workshop if you're going to actually do those things. But I think, it's just fun to do. Like, who doesn't watch Whose Line Is It Anyway? Or go to Bull Skit or go to a local improv troupe and watch that and be like, man, I wish I could do that, because it does translate
Yeah.
into, and you never know. Like I said, I went to radio school, did all that stuff, kind of got away from it. But I've used those skills
Yeah.
Mhm.
in not just with this podcast, but everyday life. So, and it
Absolutely.
just might be something to do like a Friday night, or I don't know when you hold them, right? But
Yeah,
go
for you
with your
guys, a
friends,
Friday night. Let's
right?
do it.
Like go and do it just for fun. And really, if you don't get anything out of it other than that, you're going to go and have fun. Like, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, one of the things I always say in like my first like our intro class is like you improvise constantly all day. Like the cliche one is like, "Hi, how are you?" "I'm good, how are you?" Is like a great first like improv scene that we all do, but if you can take that one step further and actually connect with another human being, like I teach eye contact. We don't make eye contact in life. Now you're all getting self-conscious about it, but we just don't. And especially now during the pandemic, we really don't make eye contact because we have a barrier and we can hide behind the barrier, which is a mask. And so like, I was just at a gig and I was like, take time to actually like look at the person you're with or look at the people you're with, because we don't. And like improv in its like core is about connecting and about telling stories and about being relatable to people and like sharing something. And so for me, it's like, that's what I deeply love about improv, is it just allows me to connect with someone.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know that person that's just full of shit. And what better way to take a class to become a professional bullshitter? I mean, I don't know if that's what you call your workshop, but you can use that idea if you want.
We'll just do workshops for the professional bullshitters.
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean, that is a whole different demographic right there that you can hit.
Yeah, and I think that's what Amy was talking about, is like kind of breaking down those crux, because we're all really good at putting up that bullshitter wall to not really be real people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can be this person because this is what I want to be.
I mean, that's what life is now, with everyone living online with their fake Instagram and
But
TikTok and Facebook profiles. So
Yeah.
in a real life situation, it forces you to actually see another human. So if I'm going to insult you, whether like you're going to have some sort of a reaction and I'm going to see that on your face, and that's going to hit me differently because we're real people in the room together. So I can actually see your facial expression and see you be hurt or overjoyed or whatever it is. And then that's going to...
I mean, if you insult me, I'm not going to be overjoyed.
I hope you would be. We
But
teach
go ahead. Give me the insult. I'll see.
We do teach that to lose the fight right away. So if Amy did insult you and you're like, oh my God, thank you so much. I am such a dickhead. Then she's like, oh God, what do I do with that? Like, so you lose the battle right away rather than
they throw them
conflict,
off.
right?
Yeah, you throw them off their game.
That's
You just changed this whole podcast.
Yeah. This is a Ted and London Dustin workshop.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
We
so
need that.
anytime they like chirp you, just accept it all.
Yeah. I mean, I accept it anyways, like, because it's usually correct. But
We'll accept it with joy and positivity.
Yeah. The one really cool thing about improv too is obviously watching it is a lot of fun, but I'm going to flash back to August when the two of you and one more, Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Came out and opened up for us and warmed up the crowd and did some improv with us. And these these two guys and Walsh were really nervous to do it, and they thought, oh, it's going to be bad, we're not going to be good. But really, and you guys could talk about it, like how cool was that experience going up there, doing it, improvising, just really thinking on your feet, and it went great, and it did, I think, warm us up for the rest of the night.
I had a blast doing it. I wasn't too nervous going on stage to do that. I mean, I make an idiot of myself quite a bit anyway. So
Yeah, maybe you're not included in that. But yeah,
but there, I mean, you're still playing to I don't know how many people there are, a couple hundred people that you don't know most of them. So, but after we started, it was just like talking to anybody else. So I learned a few things that night, and I think I could benefit from one of your workshops.
Yeah, I could echo Lundy's statements. I was pretty nervous. I had to have a couple of cocktails before I got up on stage, and I think I was a little more comfortable when Kevin was able to come up with me in the game that you guys have provided. There was two of us and two of you guys, and Kevin was moving a bunch of my arms. And like Lundy said, as soon as you got up there, you kind of got lost in the moment and just had a little bit of fun with it, not realizing how many people were actually watching. And there was lots of laughs for Ryan and Ted's and the skits that happened before. So a little bit of pressure, but at the same time, I was like, the crowd's into this and they're liking this. So a little bit of pressure off, and ended up being awesome. And like Ted said, yeah, it warmed up the night, and I know it warmed it up for Lundy because I think he threw his shirt in the crowd later that night. You couldn't remember throwing your shirt in the crowd.
Other half. It was like another guy who's dressed just like you.
Yeah.
He's a real fan. He's a real fan.
I wouldn't call him my other half, but yeah, he's a nice gentleman.
Yeah.
Who's got good taste in shirts.
See, for us, like, I was nervous coming into that event because I knew that everyone in that room is there for you guys. They weren't there to see us. And so for us, it's like, oh God, we're going to open. And so that's where I was like, we need to have them with us on stage because those people love you guys. So anything you do,
they were
they're
drunk.
Gonna...
You can say it. They were.
No. I don't think at that point, but
they came there initially for you.
Yeah.
Hammered because they knew. Yeah.
But they just love you guys. And so anything we got you to do, even if it was out of your comfort zone, we were there to support you, right? Like we weren't going to deliberately we were also going to look like idiots with you. So it wasn't like you were just like, we're standing there watching you guys improvise. No, we were in it with you. And I think that's what improv is. It's like, we're doing this together. We're all going to look like idiots, and we all are going to commit hard to looking like that.
Yeah.
And that's the fun of it.
Yeah. But you guys had won them over. Like, whatever we did, who cared? Like, our one scene we did by ourselves, I was like, we should never have done that. No one cared.
Now, to add on to that, because I know the last 2 years have been, well, I mean, I'll let you talk about that too. Have been tough, but, when you're looking for more players, which you guys learned that tonight.
So why do you call them players and not actors or performers or
we call them all those things?
But
it's just another
term.
Verbiage. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think in most of the improv community, they're performers or players because you're part of an ensemble. So they're like your ensemble players.
And it's about being playful too. Yeah. I think that kind of speaks to the playful nature of improv.
Yeah, we're all there to woo you. We're all just a bunch of players trying to
And
win over
playing
your
pretend.
hearts.
To get back to what I was talking about,
Remember when he said no blocking?
Yeah.
that wasn't
I'm
blocking.
pretty sure he's the biggest blocker out of all of us.
We also say no jokes. Usually it halts everything.
Oh.
What?
You're not supposed to make jokes in improv?
Well, it just kind of depends.
Really?
I mean, like some short form games, like short form, I will say kind of you open yourself up to those like quick little nuggets because you only have like 2 minutes. But in a long form style of improv, it's more about like building a story and less about like jokes. There's like in Toronto and in Chicago, they teach the game, which is a UCB thing. So there is like jokes within that. Like we would play this like doll game of like, what else will Ted take home? You know, like, and then that's the game we're playing. And we just like play that super hard of all these different things that Ted's going to take home. And then we'd move on. So there's like
Everything but a gal. Yeah.
I hope one day for you.
So-
and you're saying
Another rule I think in improv is not to interrupt people. So Lund, I'm going to try for a fourth time to ask this question,
Please, yeah.
if
Go
it's
ahead.
okay with Lund. You are always looking for more players.
Is there a second rule besides the no joke rule?
you know what there is actually.
What?
No, I want to answer your
Yeah.
question.
So yeah, but are you looking for more players? And not only that, but going back, you don't necessarily need that theater background, right? If it's just something
No.
you want to dip your toe in,
Mhm.
obviously you can train them and then see how it goes from there, right? But you don't have to have that experience.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's definitely a loaded question right now. Because I think Bull Skit, like we've stopped. Like we aren't, like we're doing gigs and we're doing like some training, but it's kind of like an ass by ass basis. And like we have some players that are willing to play, but a lot of people are still pretty nervous to kind of get back out and do it. Plus they haven't been doing it. So there's this like overarching anxiety of like, oh, I have to go out and be someone's entertainment where I am not like a whole human being anymore.
Not only do I need to leave my house, but
Yeah.
I need to do it with confidence and be in front of people
Yeah.
and perform.
Yeah. So I think people are nervous. So we're constantly evolving what Bull Skit will become post-pandemic, if that's even a possibility.
It
But
just seems really far away.
yeah. But we are trying. And so we are offering workshops in the hopes that people want to get out to connect again. And
Mhm.
so right now, that's kind of like the first step for people if they feel confident in wanting to get out. Because I know that I feel like there's like groups of people that do. And then there's groups of people who are like, I'm really good at watching Netflix now. So I'll just do that all day. That's that person at home who's super ditzy, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe
That's me.
expand on like the workshop side of things, because that seems to be our near future with what you guys have going on. Is it you could pay by group? Can individuals pay? How does that whole model work?
So right now it's an individual basis. So you would register for a class just like if you were going to register for like a fitness class or anything else that you're wanting to sign up for. They're 4-week sessions.
2 hours, yeah.
2 hours long. And yeah, so you commit to that every Tuesday for a couple of hours, come in, learn some skills, hang out with some cool people, and then you also get the opportunity to showcase what you've learned, where we do student shows.
Mm-hmm. And so we have 4 levels. There's an A, B, and C, and a D. That's 4. A, B, C, D. That you can take right now. And then we're offering our sketch workshop, which there are 2 levels and then an intensive where we do a show. So we create a show from scratch and show you guys how to do that. And all of it is modeled after Bull Skit's curriculum. So we spent the last 2 years looking at how we do improv, how we do sketch, and then formulating workshops around the way we do it. Because stylistically, across the country and all over the world, it's very different. Like you go to Europe and it's this like slow, intimate, like sensual improv, I guess. And then you go.
Can you do like a arena? Can you improv that improv?
Yeah, sure. Later, just you and me. I mean, that would be it's intimate stages in Europe.
Always say yes.
Good job. You're learning.
Yeah.
So proud.
Thank you.
But in the States, there's like long form and then super fast pace. UCB style improv. Ted really likes this. He's
I'll be okay.
So those are our workshops, but then we're also offering a reconnect workshop for businesses because a lot of people have had a lot of people what's that word called?
Working from home?
Yeah.
And just quit. Remote working. Yeah. Remote working and turnover.
Was that an improv game? Because it felt like one, like a warm up. Just quick back
Amy
and forth.
and
we just talk in our brains to each other.
Because we always finish each other's.
Sounds.
Yeah. So good.
Sandwiches.
Yeah. Nice. You shouldn't finish each other's sandwiches.
No.
We are in a pandemic.
You're not allowed to do that anymore.
You can't eat each other's food.
They live together.
Oh,
We make our own sandwiches and eat our own sandwiches together, enjoying each other's company. You got to say yes to that.
I just want that to be the podcast, is you two sitting at home making sandwiches.
You know what?
together.
The way the internet is, that would get way more.
Yeah.
Like
And
just
then you
us
have to have
doing
the
nothing.
sounds of making the sandwich.
And then the sounds of eating the sandwich.
Yes.
Oh, I would hate that part. Mouth noises. Oh,
ASMR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
anyway, yeah.
So it's a reconnect workshop, and it just allows like people within your business to come together, reconnect, as well as like reinvigorate creativity. Because I think the pandemic has really like forced people's creativity to be pretty low. And I think improv is a great way to like just kind of reinvigorate that and just like get
Opens
it
people
flowing.
up, and
Yeah.
that reconnection piece is huge too.
Yeah.
And even not only just we talked about the humanity of that, but also just that creativity piece too.
Mhm.
Once you connect with another human, then you can kind of get your wavelengths, get into a flow with them.
Yeah.
We have that.
Yeah. Get in sync
Get
with
in
one
sync.
another.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's lots of options. If people just reach out to us, like we're open to kind of working with any kind of business or to kind of do anything right now. Like we just did the lip sync battle, and that was like an ask. Like
Yeah.
Bonnie was like, "You guys should do this," and then Brennan was like, "I've signed you up," and I was like, "Okay, sure." we totally have people. We didn't really.
No.
Yeah, so we're just kind of open right now to just like engaging in the community as best we can and supporting other people through improv and through sketch. Like we can make killer TikToks. Don't look at our TikTok. But that's the thing though, is like TikTok is where people are going to be creative. Like I go to get like ideas from TikTok, which is like crazy to me. But I'm just like I'm strapped for ideas. Everything's about children and no one wants to see that. Sorry, I have 2 kids. So that's why I say everything's about kids.
No, just we have to sit here at the beginning of every episode and hear about certain people's kids that we don't care about.
Who has kids?
That's
Jealous.
Kevin's got kids too.
How many kids do you have?
I got a 2.5-year-old.
look
And
what I did.
Kevin's got 3.
3 children or a 3-year-old?
3
Three
2.5-year-olds. Yeah.
3 kids. Yeah.
Wow. All under 3 or just holy I was going to be like, wow, you guys are really busy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Walsh is here by the way. He found his way in.
I want to learn a little bit more about how many hours you guys put in a lip sync battle, because you guys were the winners. For those who weren't at Bo's that night, they helped raise a ton of money for
Yeah, I was
for
like,
the
I think
outreach center.
50,000.
Oh,
We
wow.
helped them raise No, I'm just kidding. We really did not help that.
But how much time do you guys put into choreographing and
We
putting
probably
that on?
spent more time deciding what songs we wanted to do and
Than
changing
actually-
our choices
Yeah.
than actually putting it together. But
Well, like when we do a sketch show, we usually say 16 hours. So for a 2, less than a 2, it was like an hour and a half. So because we're at a practice, we spent quite a bit of time dancing and just convincing Scott to wear a leotard and dance on stage. I say we had like 3 or 4 rehearsals. 3? No, like maybe
three on their feet rehearsals and a couple brainstorming, figuring out what the heck we're going to do and voting on songs.
Yeah.
What song do you guys do?
We did Maniac from Flashdance. And then we also did Timber.
The best song ever.
Yeah.
You love Timber?
But you did Timber in a different style.
Yeah, so that's like my grandfather's theme song, because he was 80 and he was always falling, and so
I was wondering about that, but I didn't want to ask if that was why.
No, totally, you can totally ask. Yeah, it was his theme song. We have a sweater and it says Timber on it. Like, we all know he falls, and so I was like, guys, this is a great idea, and so we did it. Yeah,
and then Maniac Scott got to play the role of Jennifer Beals.
Yeah,
right? Is that her name?
Of course you know it. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's Jessica Biel is Justin Timberlake's wife.
Yeah. Ted knows.
Yeah.
Ted knows.
But and that was he
was great,
and that was days removed from him playing Santa as well. Because we do have to thank Bull Skit because you arranged it and Scott came out and that was all improv. If anyone has watched the Santa interview, he made all that up on the spot. So much so like he threw me off many times. So there's just another, just goes to show, he put the time in. I don't know what his background is, if he was someone that kind of started from scratch and got into improv. So
very much so. Yeah.
I thought you meant his background of Santa.
What's my motivation?
I worked in the mall for a couple years and then
I really been preparing for this for like 8 years. And finally someone asked me. No, Scott started off and he did like all of our workshops. Like I think he did 3 years of auditioning for me, and then I finally then we let him in finally, and then he was with us for like I think 4 years before taking a break and then doing some stand up, and then now he's wanting to come back. So we've had lots of people like come and go, and Scott was one of those people, and he's so funny. Like he's just so.
He's a great example of someone who doesn't have any sort of theater background and just stepped into it and is a rock star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's very good. He's funny. I'm glad that you said it was all improv because I was losing it on the side.
Yeah, like it was people, and you even if you know Scott, you wouldn't know it was Scott either. No. Like because you guys. Another thing you do, right? You were the roving elves. You kind of did, I think, is it called roving character play? Whatever it is.
Yep. It's our favorite thing to do.
At the Bose thing. And I had no idea it was Scott.
We love doing that. Yeah. Please hire us all the time for that. We love it. Can you hear the sarcasm?
Hey, I love it.
Oh, Amy loves it. No, but yeah. And Scott knew all of you. Like Scott knew so many people and be like, oh, hey, Ted. And like people were so freaked. And then you're like, who are you? He's like, I'm Santa. Yeah. Like your childhood came rushing back to you and you're like, he is real.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah. He does exist. I always knew he did. But so as we wrap up, I told you.
What a good way to wrap up.
So hard.
But we did a warm-up game. So now that we're warmed up, you're going to lead us through another game.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna, we don't usually make like sexual innuendos on this podcast or anything. So it's gonna be tough for us, but we're gonna try. So lead us through this other game.
Yeah, this is a game we also never play. I would say. I mean, I played.
I heard about it for the first time.
What's it called?
Tonight.
So this game is called Sex with Me.
Oh, no one plays that game with me either. Yeah.
You set me up for that joke.
That was an improv. That's been in my head for like a half hour.
I have to ask Jenna this. I'm going to have the funniest joke.
Just lose the battle. Just accept it and then lose the battle.
Well, you're a quick learner.
Yeah.
I know.
Well done.
You're in. Like I said, you're already hired.
He's very technical anyways.
Very professional.
Yeah. So it's called Sex with Me. It's a short form game. And how it works is we pick.
I'm trying.
No, you can say it. Go for it. Yeah.
No, everyone knows what I was going to say.
Yeah, it is short with you. Yeah. So you pick an object or a thing. Maybe Kevin wants to yell things out. Yeah. Or we can just pick things. But you would say something like, sex with me is like a hockey net. You have to pull the goalie to get a goal. I just stole that from Ted. I don't know.
Pull the goalie to score.
Pull the goalie to score. See, he's way better at it. So we'll just pick a topic and then anyone can chime in with sex with me is like blank because funny line. After I just said, don't be funny. Here's your opportunity.
So many
Kevin, pick a
conflicting
random
rules.
We learn the
object.
rules and then we break them.
Anything.
Couch.
Couch. Oh. Sex with me is like a couch. Musty, but dependable.
Sex with me is like a couch. I pull out, but my couch doesn't. No, I did it wrong.
You blew it.
My couch pulls out, but I don't.
Yeah,
Jokes are hard.
Sex with me is like a couch. Once I get on, I get off.
No, so sex with me is like a couch. Once I get on, I never get off.
But I always get off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Sex with me is like a couch. There's room for all my friends.
Hey, nice.
No.
Shirt.
Shirt.
Sex with me is like a shirt. Is that how I said it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's good.
perfect. That's great.
Sex with me is like a shirt. I need an XL.
Sex with me is like a shirt. I only feel comfortable covered up.
Oh.
It's sad.
Sex with me is like a shirt. It's optional.
Hey.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, that was a very,
Very
clean
positive.
joke.
Musician, just for Ryan, if he's listening.
He's tuned out, yeah.
Sex with me is like a musician. I always love it when they finger pick.
Okay.
All right, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sex with me is like a musician. You make more money if you do it on the internet.
Hey, nice.
Sex with me is like a musician. I'm a one-man band.
Yeah. Nailed it.
And
Nailed
scene.
it. So good. New thing.
A therapist.
Oh, God.
Sex with me is like a therapist. I don't get it nearly as much as I need.
Oh.
Oh. Why are mine always so depressing?
Maybe you should see a therapist.
Sex
good,
with me is like a therapist. I always end up laying on a couch.
There you go.
Sex with me is like a therapist. It always costs way too much.
That's good.
Sex with me is like a therapist. The deeper I go, the more they charge.
God.
And you guys thought I was bad.
Oh my god.
Also, I'm not sure if that's how that works.
Yeah, I don't.
Mine's in a pretzel right
Oh, I think we have to end there. That was, yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes
Yeah.
sense. I've never had therapy, so.
You guys can take
Yeah,
this
don't
game
say.
and play it just the four of you if you need a good warm up. It's always a good
Yeah.
warm up. Sex is always a great warm
I
up.
feel like that's just a good drinking game too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, this is,
like I said, it keeps going. We could keep going and going. Well, we
Sex
could.
with
You
me
guys
is like
can't.
this conversation. It was really short. That's called a sucker punch, Lund, where you say something different than what they're expecting you to say.
No, I expected you to say
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Everyone expected that.
So-
It's so self-deprecating.
Yeah, I know. I probably do need that therapy. But anyways, to wrap up, thank you, Jenna and Amy, for coming. Again, we'll let you do a bit of a plug for Bull Skit because,
Sure.
the shows aren't really happening right now, but people can, especially I think of a lot of corporate gigs that
Yeah.
you can go out and do and run stuff like this, whether it's just for the beginning of a meeting or anything like that. So you already threw the website in there, which got the Lund seal of approval. But
Thanks.
another way too is just to follow you on social media because it is, well, it's just an extension of what you do, but it's on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah, if you want a good laugh right now, definitely hit up our Twitter feed. The hilarious Jeremy Robinson is running that, and he is pretty funny on there. But yeah, so definitely follow us through our social. It's Bull Skit Comedy across the board. Definitely Bull Skit Comedy, not Bull Skit. You'll find some other Bull Skit in Iowa who is much different than us. But yeah, so Bull Skit Comedy across the board. Please hit us up for anything.
Dustin, Bull Skit Comedy across the board is not the name of their Twitter handle, so don't search that.
Yeah, that's a very, very different Twitter handle. But yeah, so we're on board to do any kind of corporate work. On our website right now, we're offering workshops. And then we're hoping to do a show for International Women's Day. It's with our core women's group, which is with Kaylin Mel from The Dirty Show, and then Amy, I, and Lisa. So fingers crossed that we're allowed to do that in person. And if not, we'll have to hit up Brian or something. But yeah, so hopefully we can have an in-person show then. And for Mother's Day, that's our plan.
Yep.
Anything else you want to add about workshops?
I think you pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. Come find us on social. We love to connect, and it's the best way to do it right now.
It's the only way.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
But I think we'll do a workshop for sure. I think it'd be a lot of fun and kind of show off what's going on there. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, again, Jenna and Amy, thank you so much for, usually we don't get this off the rails until like the actual episode starts recording. So we're warmed up for that too. So thank you.
Yeah. It's going to be your best episode yet, just because we were here. I don't know.
Yeah,
top 22 for sure.
22.
Yeah, even if it's not, I mean, at least we had fun, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
There you go. Lose the battle.
Thanks.
Lose the battle.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate having us.
Oh dear.